Alright, I'm trying out something that will help me bust through some of my to-watch list, but with none of the commitment. I'm going to watch the first 3 episodes from shows suggested in my comments, discuss the elements, and decide whether or not, based solely on the first 3 episodes, if I would continue to watch the show. Yesterday I watched Gargoyles, which this lovely commenter suggested predated Teen Titans and Avatar in implementing overarching plot in Western animation, and after watching, yeah, that checks out. The show immediately suggests that lore is involved and throws us into an action scene. And after seeing Goliath, the brooding main boy, my worst fears are confirmed. Yes, I can find gargoyles sexually attractive. Greg Weisman worked on the show, and I could definitely tell because some of the dialogue radiates such Young Justice energy. Or I guess Young Justice dialogue would radiate Gargoyles energy. Either way, the themes are heavy right off the bat. Everyone is dickish to the gargoyles, Goliath's big bitty GF is waving death flags like nobody's business, and the only human who seemed chill with the stony bronies betrays them and stands by as the usurper goes ham on the gargoyles like I used to go ham on those Toys R Us fossil kits. Bitchy boy spellcaster proves the saying when you assume you make an ass out of you and me, and curses the remaining gargoyles to turn to stone until the castle is higher than the sky or whatever. He finds the princess is still alive, says whoopsie daisy, and Goliath, the edgelord he is, asks bitchy boy spellcaster to turn him into stone as well.
Cast your spell one more time.
Pretty raw. And because everything needs to take place in New York City, the castle gets brought on top of a skyscraper by the realistic billionaire villain we deserve. Also, Elisa inserts herself into this mess, and I guess Goliath forgets his forever girl was brutally murdered like what? Just a day ago to him, because I'm mildly concerned with the sexy eyes these two are making. Alright, so let's start off with the defining aspect in most cartoons, characters. So far, only Goliath has captured my heart. Also this random gargoyle, because like 3 seconds into the show I recognized his voice actor as Clarion's and projected.
Not afraid, are you?
I can't believe you would assault a defenseless pussycat!
But the lineup is interesting. We have the surviving gargoyles, who I'm sure will have their personalities explored, Jeff Bezos, and a potential gargoyle fucker. And what's interesting to me is how this show portrays good and evil, because while this guy clearly resurrected 1,000-year-old creatures to probably, like, add to his fortune or be glorified bodyguards or something, and he's pretty much mustache twirly, I can't tell how we're approaching morals elsewhere, because so far, Goliath has been posing questions like, who decides what is good and bad?
Well, when somebody does something wrong, I find out who and arrest them.
Who says what's wrong?
But it also looks like the show may be leaning towards recruiting gargoyles as cops. And obviously 3 episodes isn't enough to tell, because Goliath was playing the whole we need to be forgiving and patient towards our enemy thing, and a bunch of people died, so is this message being pushed or criticized? And I could look it up on this extensive-ass Gargoyles wiki, but I already spoiled enough by looking up the voice actors and seeing that they all get rad New York City-themed names. As for animation, it's smooth. It's very much a product of the 90s, but smooth for action scenes, which is all I can ask. There's actually one really cool scene where all the gargoyles are waking up one by one as the perspective runs in a circle, and it really stuck out to me. The music was about the same. Good, but nothing extraordinary. Also, please help because the one part where it's like... reminds me of something and I can't put my finger on it. Great use of the instrumental background, though. Very fitting for a show that takes place in medieval Scotland and then futuristic 90s New York. Yes, future. Voice acting is where the show really shines, though, especially with Goliath, who I have come to terms with the fact I simp for.
I've been denied everything, even my revenge!
Keith David, I commend you. But even the characters who are voiced in more excessive manners, it's not too over the top in a way that's distracting. Instead, it translates well into the storytelling. And that's the thing. When you have solid characters, solid animation, and solid voice acting, all you're really missing is plot. And Gargoyles has the promises of a great plot to unfold, a detailed one at that. So with all of the elements there, the real question is whether or not this objectively well-made show is one that I personally enjoy. And if I had to give it a final vote, yes, I would watch more Gargoyles. I know it's a larger universe, but I think the first 3 episodes I watched are proof that I've been ignoring the gold in older cartoons. Also, I want to see more of this rock star. Get it? As they turn to stone. It's hot.